Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news in review for August 2024, and of course we got great news, well, lots of news, and there's some masterpiece, mainline legends, all that good stuff, but you might be wondering why I'm showing you a Robot Paradise. Well, that's a KO. It's not the fans' toys. Official pictures of the Wave 2 Simpsons, and we're going to get into this with, it appears to have a carryover Homer in the Wave. Is Homer more popular than Bart? And then we've got some NECA aliens. I thought NECA was done with their aliens, but they want to just, I guess they're milking the franchise, but there's more stuff for aliens collectors out there. And then we have the official pictures of the Wave 2 of Street Sharks. Talk about that. And got our touch back on this snake lair situation. And literally, this is it. Please let me know. Yeah, this is definitely it for Star Wars news, but we're going to talk about this and more coming up. Alright, so what's new at the Show Z? As every week here we have the Fans Toys FT30E Jester Slingshot, which has all the combining parts with it for $320, and it is coming into stock and shipping. So if you pre-ordered it, yours should be shipping, and if you're going to the site right now, then once they get through the pre-orders, they'll probably get to yours. So that is up, but it's significantly cheaper at Show Z Store. And we've got the second version of the Fast and the Fury. It's their take on Runabout and Runamuck from X-Transbots that are in stock and shipping. The reason I know is because I got my payment notice, and I believe they've already shipped. And I'll be taking a look at these, comparing them to the originals, but they're about $100 each if you're interested. $108. And the 3.0 MDLX G1 Sideswipe coming soon. Means it's coming into stock, and they should be shipping those relatively soon. $96.99. I'm fighting the urge to get this. It is a bit on the pricey side, but it looks really, really cool. We definitely don't get very many Sideswipes in the Masterpiece line. Remember, TH for your code if you want to help the channel out. So I really think the top story here is to see that we've got some cassettes that just recently got put out, now going to be made by Robot Paradise, meaning that that's designers that were working at Fans Toys left, and now they're doing it on their own. So it's not really a KO. They have the rights to it in a way, sort of, is my understanding of this whole situation. I might even understand it wrong, but they're significantly cheaper, usually about half the price of what Fans Toys charges, and they look pretty good to me. So if you want to get this, Show Z Store doesn't carry it. I think TF Direct carries it, and there's a couple of other places out there that carry these, but I don't know if they're up for pre-order just yet. I haven't really checked all that, but if you're interested in these, I've already got an official set. I really don't need a KO set, but it's tempting depending on what the price is. Sticking with Fans Toys, this entire week has just been dominated by the Superion from Fans Toys. Is it Ethereon? Like, is he dealing in crypto over here? So this, it looks pretty good, but I've seen some side-by-sides with Zeta, and specifically the Zeta Metallic one that TM Reviews actually did a good comparison of the two, and I want to say that they're very similar, and the discussions online have been about, is it worth so much more, like almost $1,000 more if you're buying them at today's prices and what they're selling for right now? Is it worth it? Now, for a lot of people it is, and especially those who've been keeping up with it along the way and just need that last figure and the combining parts, it's very worth it to them. But side by side, they look very, very similar. And so with that, check out Team Reviews and his comparison of them, and you're going to see how very, very close they are. But I got to tell you, if you pick up the Fans Toys, it's probably double, if not triple the weight. No, 5-year wait. All right, Toys Easy with an S. Metal Souls Tiger Tank. We've already seen this before, but it was gray scale. Now this actually has some really good photography and pictures of it with it painted up. This is what it's going to look like. It looks really good. And as just a random tank, and there's not a character based on or anything like that, it looks really cool. Quite tempting. Oh, something to pick up. And here's the actual tank mode, which looks good also. Kind of gives me, in a way, a bit of those Metal Slug vibes, even though I know it's not based on Metal Slug. It's Metal Slug was probably trying to match this tank, sort of, but looks really cool. And it is the Tiger tank. Metal Souls. Alien Attack has a repaint of their Optimus Prime. It's the AAT-02M King of Cavaliers metallic version. It looks really good. It's very nice looking. This is the last night version of Optimus Prime, which is pretty cool. I have zero representation of this in my collection, and it's one of those things I wouldn't really mind buying a Prime from each movie, at least as long as they look different. This definitely looks different, and it looks pretty cool. I think the alt mode looks solid, and I get that feeling that in the movie era, the alt modes were a priority. Probably because of, well, not for this specifically, but they did have a contract with GM, and of course you had Bumblebee into a Camaro and a lot of cool stuff like that, but this looks really cool. We do have a picture of Yellow Park's AMK Transformers 1 official stock images, and I like this compilation. We've looked at a lot of this stuff already, and just kind of quick compilation of them, but they look pretty cool, even though I'm not really a fan of the designs just yet, and I'm not even sure if I'll see the movie, but it does look like they've done a good job. The thing is, AMK does great work, and so with that, they make these look good no matter what. Now, I really feel like this is a mainline scale, sort of the scale with your Hasbro stuff, and I have no information. I literally just have pictures, no information. It says Q-Toy Studio CT01 steel column, which is probably a knockoff of a version of Hasbro or something like that. Maybe it's scale oversized. But just looking at the joints and how it works and how it operates, it does not quite look like it's big enough to be a masterpiece. But it does look pretty interesting overall. And there's a picture of both modes. And it does clean up pretty well, and that's still very early on this. I need some more information, and when I know where to buy it, price, all that kind of stuff, size, scale, I'll definitely share that. Not a whole lot of masterpiece news this week, but I want to point this out. I saw this picture from Cybertron Warriors, and I actually was like, oh yeah, that's a great still straight from the cartoon. That's awesome. It's actually the Masterpiece, Takara Masterpiece Rhinox that I reviewed it this past week, and it looks that good. I mean, I'm serious. It looks that good that, that plus the photography is that amazing. I literally thought these were stills from the cartoon. It's that great, but impressive figure, even better photography. So Iron Factor's putting out some pictures of their Vinekaiser combiner, and this is, I guess, where they've gotten to so far in production, and it looks very interesting. It looks pretty cool, and it's a bit on the stylized, but it's pretty tame for what they usually do, and I think it looks like it's going to be a pretty good combiner overall. It looks good, and so this is the update picture where they are so far. Magic Square is playing games and reissuing yet again their Megatron. I think they're calling this the X version, but the weird thing is they just put out the flat matte one, and I don't know if it's any different than the very first one they put out. But I find it strange that they're putting this out again. So they've reissued it, and now they're rerunning it again 6 months later. And I probably because they're selling out, and they're going to make what sells, which is smart. But yet they don't put out their first Soundwave in the colors that everybody wants, the more lighter blue Soundwave. But this thing keeps getting put out. They're not re-putting this out in the metallic paint finish, which is the one I like the most. So here comes the New Age H62 Louis color variations, and there's a slew of them. So this is basically the figure, which I believe there's more toy accurate or cartoon accurate heads also included with it, but this is the picture that I've got here. It looks pretty cool. This one is the C version, which is, I guess that's the comic. I really don't know all of the terms, like what the letters mean on New Age, because I don't buy everything New Age. Here's the alt mode. It looks pretty good in both modes overall, and so with that, I'm not really going to bother with showing a whole bunch of all the different variations of the different colors of the alt mode, but that looks kind of cool. They also have a clear one. It's pretty cool looking. It looks like it comes with 2 cassettes, and I'm guessing they all come with the 2 cassettes from what I'm seeing here, but there's so many variations, it's hard to keep up with. But this is the clear version, and they've they've been making clear versions of pretty much everything, which is pretty cool. But it's tempting in a way. But I'm going to pick up one of these just to check the mold out. I usually go with the EX version for theirs. Whenever they have the EX version, I usually go with that because I think that one is a pretty cool one. And they are all painted, so they all have that paint. You're not missing out on the paint on any other figures. And then here is the twin cast. Is that the twin cast? It looks pretty cool. And I believe you get 3 cassettes with this one here. And this one is the Shattered Glass Redeco, the A62B Blowout. They call it Blowout. Looks cool. And you get 3 cassettes. And here's a nice little roundup of all they've got. Plus, there's a sold-out Soundwave in there. But if you search Blaster, then, of course, Sound Blaster is going to show up. There's also, and I don't have a picture of that, there's like a clear yellow Lucky Draw, which I'm sure is going to be really expensive to try to snag that one. But there's your options for New Age blasters so far. Sticking with cassette decks and going to Hasbro, this is pictures. These are pictures. This is a picture of the Transformers Legacy United Leader Soundwave multi-pack in hand via Prime versus Prime. And they've put this mold out multiple times. And I kind of feel sorry for the people that paid hundreds of dollars for the Walmart pack, thinking we'll never get this again. And I'm wondering, is this other one just yellowed? Is that just damage, or is that another version I never heard of? But the one on the left is the new one that's coming, and it's going to be Leader Class. It's going to come with several cassettes, all that kind of stuff. But we just got it in the Nemesis Bridge set, and there's this one, and I hear we're getting a Studio Series 86 one that's going to be all new mold and look even more like the vintage cartoon. We'll see. All right, so we got some pictures of, what is this? This is the Earthspark Deluxe Chaos Terran Aftermath. Yeah, this is the Aftermath. The other one's Jawbreaker, I believe. I didn't watch any of that, so I don't know. But they look cool enough. The design of it looks pretty interesting. And then the alt mode looks pretty clean. And, yeah, very cartoonized versions right there. Then this must be the Jawbreaker. If I'm sure he had a great big role in the cartoon or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea whatsoever. And then here's the alt mode. But it's stuff that's out. Hasbro's not putting much out this week. But there's some cool stuff for Hasbro. Swoop has been spotted at a Target in Mooresville, North Carolina. And yes, Swoop has landed in the U.S. at retail. If I can find one at Target, I'm definitely canceling mine at BBTS because you get the red card savings, and I'm not sure the Studio Series aren't probably part of it, but the standard ones or whatever the other name of the line Legacy leaders are $35 at Target, which would be awesome to get that at $35, but they figured out they're not going to be giving these away at $35. You got to pay your $50, $55 or whatever. But still, it's an awesome set. If you've been working on the dinos, then I think they did a great job with them. And Swoop, another great one. This is the Transformers 1 promotional poster, and that's what they're putting up. Some people aren't going to care for the Transformer 1, and I understand that, but it's still kind of cool to see what they do, what comes out, whether you even pay to go watch it or buy any of the merchandise. It's what's going on right now, and it's cool and interesting to see what they're up to. And there is a TFCon Baltimore, November 1st through 3rd, with Frank Welker. Megatron Welker, voice of Megatron. And that'll be kind of cool. I'm not going to Baltimore, but it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. And third-party panel, will it be as dry as the last one? Will there be some big reveals? Are these third-party companies just catching up, which is kind of a good thing? Let them catch up. Right, I'll just report the news. I make the news. But we've got these figures, a wolf fang, some sort of a lizard for Beast Wars. I don't even know the name of that thing. And more of the pterosaurs. So this is it's kind of cool to see this stuff show up. That some of these I never saw at Walmart, Targets, or anything. Well, I think it's just Walmart. Never saw them at the original retail, and now they're going to Ollie's for $9.99. And Pterosaur was actually all over the place, but these other two, And I think there's even more that they're going to come, which I never even heard. Some of these I never even saw announced that they were making. And they just showed up at these discount places, skipped the Walmart, and went straight here for $10, which makes no sense. But also, it's something that's a telltale sign that there just wasn't enough interest in Beast Wars, and they just killed the line. And these were already in production, but Walmart didn't want any more. That's what it tells me. And there's pictures of a Legacy United animated universe Bumblebee coming out, and these are unofficial pictures, but they're officially unofficial, I guess. But I don't know. I see a lot of Bumblebees. Not sure if this is something that was already out. Somebody just take a picture of something that they bought at the store. I didn't see this at Walmart when I was there today, so it looks like it's something new coming out down the road. Animated Bumblebee. Right, I don't have the exact date on the last day of early bird for Ramen Toy for these tanks, but I believe he told me the 20th. I think that's what he said. But, we're talking, you've only got a day or two. So probably Sunday be the last day, maybe Monday be the last day. And I haven't placed my order yet, so I need to place my order. I don't know how long we've got. But you can do $50 down on each tank, $30 on the add-ons. And for me to do 2 tanks and an add-on is $120 shipping when the shipping comes due. It's way cheaper. Like, you're getting 2 tanks and an add-on for less than a HasLab, or right around a HasLab. So, I mean, it's a better value than going with a HasLab if Hasbro did it, and it's different. But they look great, and I think Ramen's proved themselves. They do a great job. With the cancellation of this, or the delay of the Master of the Universe Mattel Creations crowdfund of the Snake Lair. So I've talked about Cat Slayer so much I want to call it Cat Slayer. Every time I look at it and say something about it. There's Toy Habits took it upon themselves to put up a poll. So just go to toyhabits.com and it'll be probably the first thing that's pop up still, unless they've done something else. But this is the old poll, which I screen grabbed, and it's not really very clear in the screen grab. But yes, people did vote for this thing, and it's not what they voted for. But anyway, it's on hold. But what do people want now? Gotta tell you the truth that the unofficial Toy Habits poll is very similar to this, but you gotta go to Toy Habits to see their poll themselves at their... I'm not gonna snipe that out of there. This is just the original polling that I sniped out of there. But go check it out and see. I wanted the Attack Track. Alright, so the Batmobile Batman Forever is now live, and there are 2 flavors, regular with Alfred and glow in the dark. So the regular is the one that you're going to be getting at the BBTS, Chosen Prime, and all those places. And it does not glow in the dark, but it's $79.99, so it's $80. I believe it's an Amazon exclusive for the one that glows in the dark. The glow in the dark is, and I'm pretty sure it is, I'm still looking. No, the glow one, you can get a BBTS also, and it's pre-order sold out, limit 1 per customer at $110, sold out. All right, I was kind of curious about the whole Alien situation and the Predator situation with NECA. How are you going to squeeze more blood from those lines in the turnip? And they figured out how. The Alien Romulus Ultimate Scorch Xenomorph 7-inch scale action figure. And that's the one on the left. And on the right there is the accessory set. And it's the Model F44AA Pulse Rifle accessory. And you're going to get Asteroid with fossilized Xenomorph. You're going to get Face Hugger and Chest Burster with wire tails for posing. We got the cryo frame case for the Face Hugger, and the Face Hugger can go around the heads of most NECA 7-inch figures. So that's... The accessory packs are usually what people are after the most, and they're pretty good value for what they are. It's interesting that accessory packs are what people want the most. Alright, Mondo is putting up their Thundercats Lino 1/6 scale, that means 12 inches, for pre-order in the Mondo shop on 1 p.m. Eastern, or noon Central. Thank you. I thank you for spelling out Central for me. August 23rd, Friday. So that's $250. Probably sell out really fast. I'm not getting it. I don't do the 1/12 scale. I don't do the 1/6 scale 12 inch. I don't do the 12 inch stuff. and I definitely don't do $250 a figure. So it's cool looking though, and I can watch this from afar, and hopefully everyone that gets it enjoys it, and you get your snarf and all that stuff with it. But the 23rd, and they sell fast. So this past week we had a retail $112 Mezco blank figure go up for order and sell out just out of the blue. And now I wasn't going to be on it myself either, but I know people would like this, and I was just a little surprised. I just hadn't heard anything about it, and then out of the blue, boom, pre-order, sold out, and just out of nowhere. And it's kind of cool looking, and it's interesting. And I know there's a big controversy about the blank is really the only valuable figure in the entire Dick Tracy toy line of the vintage one, but I'm not sure if there'll be a way to get a hold of it again down the road, but it's a pretty cool looking figure overall. You can join the waitlist. Alright, King of Fighters 1998 Ultimate Match Ralph Jones by Storm Collectibles is up for order, and cool accessories they got with it, and really cool promo shots that they didn't already show. But I think this is a pretty cool shot, and I like the accessory to make it look like his hand is doing that moving real fast kind of thing. And you could use that with Chun-Li. I mean, not the hand. You need a Chun-Li foot to do that, but that'd be cool accessory for Chun-Li too. Alright, so new DC McFarlane Collector's Editions Huntress, Dark Knight, Batman, and Green Lanterns up for order, and so they're all going to drop on August 16th. Well, it's past the 16th, so if they've sold out, they've sold out. I want to say that I've seen the last wave, the Batman wave, that had a Adam West. I saw it at retail, and then I told a buddy of mine that I was looking for him, and I think he went and got the Adam West that he was looking for, but the Adam West version, I'm really not collecting all those. I do very little with the McFarlane myself, but I do like to see what they're up to. It's kind of cool. Alright, this picture's perfect for me to talk about. I gotta say, the Simpsons Wave 2 stuff looks cool, and I'm gonna talk about it. But I made a false statement. Somebody corrected me. When I said that little playset, I bet you could just display your figures in that living room. And it is definitely way too small for the 5-inch scale figures. If you just stand them in there, I guess you could get away with it, but you definitely can't have them all sitting on the couch. And I mean, you could cheat it to make it work, but really it is definitely too undersized. So I'm going to retract that statement. Now, getting into the Wave 2 figures, this is going to have the Lisa, Moe, Krusty the Clown, and a carryover Homer, which I believe is carryover Homer because it's the same Homer I got. And I did manage to get all of them at retail, which is a fun line to collect, $13 each. And yeah, they're all showing up at Target. And fun to collect something that you can actually find and is reasonably priced. And yeah, Jax knows what they're doing. There are pictures of the Bartman from Walmart.com listing showing the Bartman for $12.83. You can pre-order it. I think it's pre-order. No, add it to cart. So you can buy this right now at the Walmart.com for $13. That's pretty cool to be able to buy something like this, $13. See, Jax didn't jack up the price on this. So we got official pictures now of the Street Sharks Wave 2 Slamoo Streaks and Dr. Puranoid. And I gotta say that I've collected some of the vintage ones, just buying the cheap lots from people when they have them. And I found that Dr. Puranoid one is kind of hard to get complete on the secondary market. And this one looks way better, in my opinion, than the vintage one, which they all should, obviously. But it's kind of fun to collect these for $25 each. Some of these go to $80, $90 on eBay, and not even complete. So to get a complete figure for $25 and new and better articulation and just way better made, I think is definitely a win right there. Here's the packaging for it, and they all have these little cages, which is kind of fun. It's kind of cool. There's the cages for these figures, and I need to go look it up. Is that the way they were packaged back in the day? Because that's kind of cool. I guess Hasbro says they like to make my Star Wars segment easy, and we're gonna make it easy on you, Mike. This is all we're making. This is the Star Wars Black Series K2SO. Pronounced K2SO, and then the Vintage Collection K2SO, which I know that the Black Series reissue. I'm not sure about the Vintage Collection one. And then, of course, an Andor figure, what appears to be a reissue of Darth Maul. I'm sure there's something different about it. I don't know all the details on it. And then we've got this character called Deidre Miro from the Andor series. And that's it. That's all that's coming. And, well, for this week. Maybe there'll be more next week, or maybe it'll take 2 or 3 weeks before there's actually news again. But there's actually news, so it's reissue news for the most part. And I got some stuff to show you. Welcome to Ollie's, and I probably don't take the best pictures in an Ollie's. They are rolling out all this Hasbro merchandise for the most part. It's Star Wars and other franchises, but there's a ton of Inquisitors. It's a cool looking figure though, but there's a ton of them. None of them look like from the cartoon that everybody really wants one that looked like it was from the original cartoon, but this is an Inquisitor we're getting. Then we've got a Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan, there's a ton of Bo-Katans, but there's a ton of her, and terrible picture. Then there's this, which I talked about in my Friday video, or Saturday video, but I gotta say, this thing came and went, like that. So there's, not all of it just sits in like a wasteland, and some of it sells fast. And there you go. There's the Stack O Hasbro that literally it's taken them 3 or 4 days to figure out where to put this stuff, where to put it all. It's the Grief Karga, Miami, Tennessee, Buffalo, Rochester, Green, and then duplicates. Now I tried to crack the code, and Miami is this guy. Miami is Echo, and then I believe that's the original look to him, right? Is that the original look they had going on? And then Green is Bodhi Rook, which I called as the next shelf warmer, and he will be warming some shelves. And that's all I really found out for the codes. But as they open these up, it's interesting to see what's in the box. So I'll close out on this. I didn't talk about this Dr. Wu Wasp. We've seen the pictures, and now this is them with the either in hand or just some really good photography from Shinto Toy Box. But anyhow, what do you guys like about this week's Weekly News and Review? What else is out there that I'm missing? Because it just seemed like a light week to me. But then again, a light week, save on the dollars. Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and tell your hanger out. I am Gigapower Super Rater. I rate Transformers and puny humans on my 5-finger scale. None of these opinions reflect Mike or the Tidarium Hanger. This is all me. An example of a 5 on my finger scale would be Gardentor. Gardentor is Swoop. It's Gigapower Swoop. He looks really good. He's perfect in every way. And with 2 light of swords, he's just trying too hard. A 4 on my finger scale would be this Reximus Prime, especially the steel version. He's not 100% perfect because I'm better than him. But for the price, he's definitely going to work. Reximus Prime. 3 on my finger scale would be this Pengu Toys blue version. It's okay. He's my buddy. It's fine. You don't have to be perfect. But he's good for the price. You're not going to find me for $85, that's for sure. Also, gotcha. Number 2 on my finger scale is Taylor Swift. Her music sucks. She sucks. Sorry, 12-year-old girls, but she's more like a -2, and shake that off. And number 1 is Fans Toys. Perfect combination of cartoon and real world. My Astro Train.